It's Krista here to do the weekly reading for the sign of Taurus, Sun, Moon, and Rising. If you don't know your Moon and Rising sign, there's a link in the description to find your whole chart. And you can always look at your Moon and Rising sign readings in addition to your Sun sign reading for additional support through the week, Taurus. So this is for the week of September 5th to September 12th. I'll be using the Medicine card Tarot for a 3-card spread today. We're looking at a central issue, the influence to the central issue, and then a probable outcome card, in addition to using the bottom of the deck for general energy, and then drawing additional cards, as always, from the Wisdom of the Oracle Tarot and the Healing with the Angels Tarot. This is a general reading, so whatever is most prominent in your life this week, I encourage you to apply these messages to, and hopefully you find them helpful and healing. So what does Taurus need to know? All right, Taurus, we have your 3 cards out, and of course the bottom of the deck here. So I'm just going to get a little feel for the energy of the cards that are present and give a little synopsis of what we're working here, and then we'll look at them one by one. I actually want to take a look at Weasel. I don't often see this card. And Stealth. Okay, so I'm going to leave this out so I can refer to it. So you are going to be feeling under pressure. For some reason, you feel like you're in a hurry, or you're being made to be in a hurry. You might be trying to keep something hidden or unknown or underground. And it could very well end up working against you. I don't see this to be a terrible outcome, but I do see that there is a sense of trying to get away with something, trying to not get caught. So we're looking at a situation where there could be a trap, that you're setting yourself a trap. And this is probably reoccurring. And it's, like I mentioned, it's probably your own doing. This is not a blame game, and I'm not judging. But if you feel as though you're trapped by something, you're either doing something over and over and over to get to this place where you're now going to sort of, cry for a way out, so to speak, but you can help yourself out. And I think this is an opportunity this week, Taurus, to take a look at why, if this is indeed happening over and over, why it would be happening over and over, and what you're willing to do to get away from it. Something that feels tricky, something that feels like, as I mentioned at the very beginning, that you could be concealing something, for really no good reason, because it tends to make you feel bad at the end of it, even though it may look like you're getting what you want, or it could be relief at the time. Particularly if this is something that is going on over and over and over, you definitely want to take a look at repeating perhaps negative or even energy draining behaviors and processes. So let's look at each of these cards one by one. In your central position, we have Buffalo, and her keywords are prayer and abundance. And this is why I'm seeing, so I'm looking specifically at, of course, the Coyote and Weasel when I'm reading your current situation. And we're looking at, trying to get away with something, or trying to get away from something, or trying to create some sort of like a mirage around something. It may not even have anything to do with anyone else, Taurus. This could be really all about you. Perhaps you're tricking yourself or fooling yourself into something. And you could be manipulating yourself just by virtue of lying to yourself, or saying that things will get better, or whatever we do to trick ourselves into continuing something that we know probably on our subconscious level or on an intuitive level isn't good for us, or that we are eventually going to feel not so great about. So your current position is prayers and abundance. Not a bad position at all. I'm not saying that. I'm saying that it appears as though you've been brought here out of a sense of longing. You're longing for prayers and abundance, as opposed to being able to accept it and to just being these things, being abundant and being prayerful. So it just appears as though you could be over-reliant here on maybe saying sorry, or saying I'm going to do better next time, but really putting not the effort in or doing what needs to be done technically to actually do better next time. In the influence to the current position is Weasel. This is your stealth card. This is where I feel that you could be tricking yourself. Could you be tricked into something? Yes, of course. But ultimately, there is a sense of responsibility that we need to take for what we allow for ourselves to become involved in, okay? Barring some type of psychic attack here, or actual physical abuse, God forbid. There is a priority here over the personal responsibility as opposed to influence, external influence. In other words, you're influencing yourself towards certain things, but it all rests, as everything does, in a thought or belief pattern or process. So I just feel that you could be tricking yourself. Not even if lying is too strong of a word, that's perfectly understandable. I don't necessarily see you overtly lying to yourself, but you could be omitting something, or you could be denying something, which of course an act of omission can amount to a lie. So just to be aware of these energies. These are energies. These are vibrations happening in your life. So we're also looking at being able to tell people what you really think. Like I said, getting away from something here could mean that you're trying to get away from telling people how you really feel. And then expect them to, and I don't mean consciously, I mean subconsciously, expect them to read your mind or figure it out for you. And that's unfair for both you and the other party. So it could be a really good week, Taurus, to take a look at some underlying behaviors within subconscious thought processes or patterns of behavior that you could seriously and permanently break, or at least divert and create another process or pattern for yourself that works for you. In the probable outcome is the ant. Its keyword is patience. This is where I do think that you're actually going to have patience. You're going to have to exhibit patience with yourself this week. Like I said, unless someone else is actually doing all this stuff to you, and let's be careful about the blame game here as opposed to responsibility. Like I said, you could be attracted to something or bringing something in to your life that you feel takes over, or you feel creates diversion, or creates an easy way out, or even an easy way in, if you will, and then you feel stuck by the time you get there. This is where you're being called to practice patience with yourself, especially if you know exactly what this means, and furthermore, that you'd like for that pattern to change. It's really wonderful to be in a prayer and abundant mind frame, but because you're aware of it and you're not running from something, and because you want to be there not to make amends, okay? Just to be present here in prayers and abundance by virtue of prayer and abundance. And I think that if you are willing to do that this week, it's really important that you have patience with yourself. Really be gentle with yourself this week during this process. So the reason I was speaking about trickery here is the coyote. A really good version of this, of course, is Wile E. Coyote. And it spells this out better than I can right now. If you're familiar with the character, cartoon character, he's always trying to set a trap for someone else who he has no respect for. He's doesn't even consider to have a mind of his own, and every single time he tries to set the trap, it blows up in his face, and you know, who he's after gets away. But he keeps trying. So I think the lesson here is this sense of don't give up, keep trying, but maybe look at what you are bringing in. Are you setting traps and thereby for yourself, and thereby putting yourself in uncomfortable positions over and over and over? Is it possible that you misunderstand something here? Or is it possible that you've been working really hard and spending a lot of energy and a lot of tactic around a certain theme, hoping to get something else out of it, and winding up sort of in a little bit of a hamster wheel situation? If that's what's going on, really have patience with yourself this week, Taurus, as you face it for what it is. You decide that it's time to break that pattern. You live in a sense of abundance and prayer for the sake of prayer and abundance, not to get yourself out of or into something. And then ultimately have patience with yourself in this process. This is probably the most important card so far in this reading to me, because this is going to feel like a little bit of a Ferris wheel here. It's going to look fun at first. It might even be exciting, but it gets old really fast, and it could even make you sick. And it's full of lights and distractions, and it may not be feeding your highest intentions this week. But don't berate yourself here. Have patience with yourself. So 2 cards jumped. I will take them. No Place Like Home and By the Book. These are really important in terms of maneuvering through this once you've identified what this is you'd like to move away from. Both what you could feel stealthy about and tricking yourself about, or setting traps for yourself. In the patience realm or patience energy, No Place Like Home. This could be a very important place for you just to be this week. If you have a lot going on lately and you feel pulled in a lot of different directions here, Taurus, maybe just say no or cancel some events this week. Stay close to home. Stay close to your heart. Stay close to something that feels stable, where you don't have to have a lot of excessive interaction this week. I think you're feeling pretty sensitive this week. And then by the book, it's really important for you to read how other people have gotten themselves out of these situations, or even to get what I would call inspiration or support through books. This is also, by the book is another way to say that something has to be achieved by process. So another level of patience here for yourself is to look at the process of things, cycles, seasons, whatever is going on this week, Taurus, that you want to get out of or to flip the switch on, does need to be done a portion at a time. Unfortunately, it can't just be thrown all out and create a void to start over with. You do need to, it appears as though you do need to pick away at something this week. But certainly have patience with yourself if at all possible. Take the time to have patience with yourself, Taurus. And your last card here is blessings. So yeah, I really feel positively here that this is very real for you. The prayers in abundance are very real. It's just how they're being conducted. It's how, it's like saying, you know, you steal the bike and then you ask for forgiveness. Yeah, you can go about life or themes doing it that way, but it creates a lot of excessive weight, okay? Psychic weight, emotional, and certainly spiritual. So it's time to get rid of that. Get rid of trying to maybe please everybody here, to pull yourself in too many different directions, and to really be honest with yourself, because that's the only way you'll get what you truly need here, is if you're honest with yourself and certainly with other people. Blessings are yours to have, and blessings are what you have currently. So please come from a place of being blessed. When you're going through this theme this week, recognize that you are already blessed and that blessings abound. This process, if you will bring even more blessings into your life. So start from this place here. Don't start from a place of lack, Taurus. Start from a place of prosperity and abundance and blessings, and have patience with yourself this week. So yeah, that is your reading. If you have a second, please comment below. I'm very curious to see how this works out for you. And if you're not already, subscribe to my channel, because I upload videos for your sign every week. So until we meet next time, Taurus, take good care. Bye for now.